The child who became the legendary Marilyn Monroe quietly entered the world in Los Angeles on Tuesday, June 1st, 1926. Her name, Norma Jean. She grew up near the heart of Hollywood, in an age when movie stars and film sirens dominated the world through motion pictures. Stardom was every young girl's fleeting dream, but for Norma Jean, it was a fantasy she held on to from her earliest beginnings. Perhaps she was searching for love, looking to the big screen for a father she had never known, casting herself as the beloved daughter. She longed to be like any one of those film immortals, at home on Hollywood's boulevards, forever young, beautiful, and glamorous, to be larger than life and loved by all on the silver screen. This is where she believed she would find comfort and security, the place she could escape the harsh realities of the world around her. This was Norma Jean's most important dream, and the one she would cling to. Norma Jean's early years were far from those of a happy child. Those days instead were rife with abandonment. She was illegitimate, scarcely bonded to her mother, and disowned by her father. She had a yearning for love so deep, neither three marriages nor the adulation of millions could fill it.
She called her father, her real father, and his name was Stanley Gifford. And he refused to recognize her. And she didn't want anything. She just wanted, you know, say, yeah, okay, how are you, and so forth. And she was so sad that night. And she felt really rejected badly.
Norma Jean's mother was troubled. Gladys Baker came from a family with a history of mental illness. In time, Gladys was diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia and confined to a mental institution. 7-year-old Norma Jean would spend the next 9 years being shuffled between orphanages and foster homes.
Her mother was in a mental institution, and that she was coming home. She wasn't cured, but she was able to leave the institution. And in fact, we went down and met her at the Greyhound bus station. She didn't recognize Norma Jean because Norma Jean, she hadn't seen her in 10 years. And Gladys seemed like she was still in left field. She hadn't got everything well done.
At the age of 15, Norma Jean started dating Jim Doherty. He had been a student body president, a star athlete, and was very popular. She especially liked his accomplishments, the fact that he was 5 years older, and his sense of humor, all early indications of the qualities she favored in men.
She was very gentle and basically quite shy. She liked to ride horses. I thought, well, maybe I'll ask her out. So I taught her how to ride horseback. And I recall one time that it was late in the day, and Norma Jean was up in front, and I told her, I says, it's getting dark, turn your headlights on. You're the only one that's got headlights. And she says, where is it? I says, up front. I says, the switch is under the saddle horn. They're there somewhere. And she spent the rest of the trip into the stable looking for the switch to turn the lights on.
Hardship and destitution may have marked Norma Jean's earlier life, but as she was blessed with a spectacular beauty, she was always protected from the harshest circumstances. But that same beauty had a dark side.
Most girls were afraid that if she came by and the boyfriend saw them, they'd lose their boyfriends. So that was why she didn't have too many girlfriends, because she was beautiful.
Norma Jean was legally obligated to remain in a foster family or in an orphanage until she was 18. But the precocious young beauty found refuge in her high school sweetheart and became engaged to the aircraft factory worker.
Her foster mother came to Mom and she said that they were moving to Arlington, Virginia, and they couldn't take Norma Jean along. And she said, would you like to marry Norma Jean? I said, gee, she's pretty young. And she said, well, she's going to have to go back to an orphanage if you don't marry her.
They married on June 19th, 1942. Jimmy was 21. Norma Jean was barely 16.
I was in love with her personality, her sweetness, her generosity, her looks, the kindness that she had. She was very religious, and she had all of the qualities that I was looking for in a wife.
Though millions would come to know her as Marilyn Monroe, a sex symbol and blonde bombshell, the real Norma Jean was quite different.
she was a serious person, and she had a sensibility about her that would indicate that she was a vulnerable type person that someone could easily take advantage of because she trusted people.
Mrs. Jim Doherty settled into a happy marriage. At 18, she was a simple girl.
Norma Jean was very affectionate. She loved to hug. She liked to be kissed. She liked to be cuddled. That was very important to her.
2 years after their wedding, World War II took her husband away from her. Jim was ordered to the South Pacific. Once again, Norma Jean was alone.
The time came that I had to leave and go overseas. And I'm sure that, again, she felt the sense that she had been abandoned one more time.
While her husband was at war, Norma Jean worked on an assembly line building target planes. The year was 1944, and she was just one of many working women. But then, in a photo flash, her life changed forever. A photographer took her picture for a story on the war effort. Overnight, Norma Jean's poses were an instant sensation and landed her a modeling contract sowing the seeds of a budding new persona. Norma Jean's initial success prompted her to quit her job and take modeling lessons. She posed for ads, magazine covers, and calendars. She even began to think about acting and started taking drama lessons. She began to remember her childhood dreams.
While at the orphanage, from her room, from the cot that she slept on, there was a window in proximity to the cot. She could look out that window and she could see the water tower over the RKO studio nearby. And the irony is that one day Norma Jean would work at that studio.
Ever since childhood, Norma Jean had learned to create a dream world to buffer her from one heartache after another, and movies were a part of that escape. Now, after a photographer published her pictures, there was a chance to make a life in that dream world. But first, there would be a price to pay.
I had discussed it with her. I said, you know, this movie business is not going to work once I get home. You're going to have to make a decision. So she made the decision while I was gone. And I felt real bad. It hit me real hard. And then a few minutes later, I'm going to let her know I got that letter. I went and cut off her allotment. No more money. So when I got home, she says, here comes this letter, you cut off my allotment. I said, yeah, I've just got a letter, you're divorcing me.
Norma Jean had forsaken the certain love of her husband for a chance to be adored by millions.
She said that she had to have it. So we get straightened up, and we go out on the porch, and we're standing on the porch, and she says, by the way, would you like to know what my new name's going to be? And I said, what? She said, Marilyn Monroe. I says, how does that work? Well, she said, Marilyn was my grandmother's name, and Monroe was my mother's maiden name. So I'm Marilyn Monroe. I said, well, that seems nice.